I want to talk about the orgy of hate and hysteria that was the Democratic National Convention. Rather than celebrate their man Biden or promote their policies, we got wild emoting about President Donald Trump. It was one big group therapy session for people with advanced cases of Trump Derangement Syndrome. We didn't hear any real substantive plan for America, just pure, unhinged hatred for the man whose election they've tried for 4 years to delegitimise. They even had the chutzpah to feature creepy old Bill Clinton, the man who in recent weeks has been at the centre of more disturbing allegations, including of being on Jeffrey Epstein's so-called pedo island. If Bill Clinton's appearance at the convention doesn't spell the end of the politicised Me Too movement, then nothing will. Given the bile that was spewed at this convention, and make no mistake, that bile wasn't just directed at Trump, but every single person who supports him. They hate you, and they're not shy about saying so. Given that bile, it was not surprising the Democrats would even include a woman who should be in jail for life at the National Convention. Donna Hilton is a convicted kidnapper, torturer and murderer who in 1985 was sentenced for the grisly murder of Thomas Vigliero. She drugged him and along with 6 others kidnapped him and then over 15 days subjected him to the most sadistic abuse imaginable. He was left to die an agonising death. They not only starved the 62-year-old victim, but they beat him, raped him and burnt him while they demanded a ransom for his release. New York City Detective William Sperling told Psychology Today that Donna Hilton and her crew, and I quote, squeezed the victim's testicles with a pair of pliers, beat him and burnt him. And they also raped him with a 3-foot metal pole. So who better to feature on night 1 of the Democratic National Convention than Donna Hilton?
We, Sophie, promote the general welfare.
And secured the blessings of liberty
To ourselves
and our posterity.
Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
The Democratic National Committee even celebrated Hilton as one of America's most impactful community leaders, I bet. And of course, most media just cheered along. Now, can you imagine the coverage if the Republicans featured at their convention someone guilty of the sort of offences that Hilton spent 27 years in jail for? But the convention wasn't just about hating Trump. It also had colour and comedy. And trigger warning, this will make you cringe.
You know, the president may hate the post office, but he's still going to have to send them a change of address card come January.
If we all vote, there is nothing Facebook, Fox News, and Vladimir Putin can do to stop us.
While we were peacefully protesting, Donald Trump was plotting.
We need numbers overwhelming so Trump can't sneak or steal his way to victory.
This time next year, I hope we are listening less to the Russians and more to Dr. Fauci.
Donald Trump's ignorance and incompetence have always been a danger to our country.
I cannot wait to see her debate our current Vice President, Mika Pints. Or is it Paints?
It's pronounced Ponce, I believe.
Oh.
Women will decide this election, and we'll replace Donald Trump with a president who respects us.
I'm proud to be a nasty, nasty woman.
As well as that, there were far more cringeworthy moments featuring some of the celebrities that the Democrats have amongst their ranks. They've got all of Hollywood and popular culture, and that was the best material they could come up with. Talking about Hollywood, let's hear from Meghan Markle.
We're only 75 days away from Election Day, and that is so very close, and yet there's so much work to be done in that amount of time, because we all know what's at stake this year. I know it. I think all of you certainly know it, and if you're here on this fun event with us, then you are just as mobilized and energized to see the change that we all need and deserve.
You know what we deserve, Meghan? is members of the royal family who understand their role and obligation to remain apolitical. But though Meghan didn't make it to the National Convention, plenty of other celebs did. We saw a few of them earlier, but I think what we really need is some earnest hyperbole from a miserable-looking teenager with weird hair.
You don't need me to tell you things are a mess. Donald Trump is destroying our country and everything we care about. It starts with voting against Donald Trump and for Joe Biden. Silence is not an option, and we cannot sit this one out. We all have to vote like our lives and the world depend on it, because they do.
If that doesn't inspire you, then you're probably a sane adult who's sick of dim-witted, out-of-touch, echo chamber-dwelling celebrities telling you who to vote for and what to think.